Hi, it's Jerusha. I have absolutely no reason to be coming to you today. I've done my dread updates. Dreads are 3 months old and nothing is happening with them. They're just the same as they were 2 days ago when I made my last video. So lately I've been thinking about why do I like doing these YouTube videos? I've been doing them a lot more often than what I expected to be doing them, and I kind of miss doing them more frequently. At first, I think I was doing them like maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and it's not all about dreadlocks, and that's the thing. I mean, there's only so much you can say about dreadlocks. There's a lot you can say about dreadlocks, actually. But when you don't have anything that you really feel like you really need to share or talk about with your dreadlocks, either you're happy, content, you're waiting, you don't have anything new or whatever, maybe you want to still do like a YouTube video. I don't know. I mean, there are all sorts of reasons that people do YouTube videos. And I was talking to my friend Midlife Dread on here, and she does YouTube video updates, and I do too, and she and I converse back and forth a little bit through our comments. And she said this, she's like, sometimes she just like puts herself out there and then pulls back into the world, you know, putting yourself out there and then pulling back. And it's this thing that she was saying in words, putting into words. And I said, wow, that's perfect. I have that too. Like, I experience that too. Like, sometimes I really want to put myself out there into the world and show myself to the world, like, even in my imperfection as I am, as we all are. And then I'll pull back. And being self-conscious about the inconsistency of that, or being aware of the inconsistency of that, can be kind of, I don't know, a little bit embarrassing. I think that's how I've experienced it anyway. So if a person is shy or not super outgoing, and they are still drawn to having their own YouTube channel, what does that mean? You know, here I am. I'm not sure why. I think I have something to say to you that is going to contribute really to what you already know about life. I'm not sure why I think that. Maybe I'm narcissistic. Maybe that's what it is here. Doing videos on YouTube satisfies people's narcissism. My narcissism. Okay, I'll say it. My narcissism. See myself on camera and pretend I'm some kind of celebrity. I don't know. I think that the key to success is having the nerve to do things. I often think about how just showing up is a significant part of like success. Just showing up for the job interview, showing up for the first day of work, showing up for training, whatever it is, showing up is underrated. You see how many people don't show up, right? They still somehow slide in sometimes. Like, you know, there's a lot of people that just kind of flake out on things, and then somehow they show up and they're still there right next to you, just like everybody else. On how it happens. But having the nerve to do things, having the nerve to put yourself there and saying, you know what, I have the nerve to be here. I'm showing up. I'm doing this. I'm going to ask you the question. Would you hire me? I think that I would be good to work for this company, and I think that I have a lot to contribute. I'm very hardworking, and I also have a lot of ideas that I'd like to share with you. Whatever it is, believe in yourself. I really do. I guess I credit my parents for that. Maybe like giving me the internal courage to have the nerve. Because if you really think about it, you might really consider like whether or not you're worthy or not. And
Well, if you think too hard about it, whether or not you're worthy or not, you're probably going to get yourself pretty depressed and probably think, no, there's tons of people out there that are more worthy. But you know what? That's probably true. But are they showing up? Because it really matters if you're showing up or not. You might have like people around you, you might like talk to them and be like, okay, what are your background experiences? What do you have that, you know, qualifies you? You know, use some language that is not intimidating. And you might listen to them and be like, whoa, I don't have that. I don't have that experience. I don't even know what that is. And here they are with me. Well, you know what? Stay there. Just stay there and wait. And have the nerve to stay there and ask to be let in on this opportunity. Because just because you have the background or the experience or the talent or whatever, doesn't mean you're going to stay there and show up. It's very frustrating when I see people that are really good and have a lot to offer and they don't show up. They didn't have the nerve to show up. I know people personally who I was trying to like, you know, cheer them on and say, go, you can get that kind of job. You don't have to get a master's degree to get that job. I believe that you can find that job with the degree that you have, the undergraduate degree that you have, or whatever. Like, maybe even not a degree. I do sincerely believe you can get these jobs without that. And then decide later if you want to go back to school. But they didn't have the nerve. These friends of mine. It broke my heart. I couldn't give them the courage that I wanted to give them, that it seemed like they needed to have in order to have the nerve to show up and ask for the job that I think they were actually very, very qualified for. So I don't know. I mean, that's just what I say. I really did go and show up and have the nerve lots of times. I mean, sometimes I chickened out, but for the most part, when it really counted, I did have the nerve. I did show up and I did do it and I had the nerve and I wasn't Miss Popularity by any means. It was pretty quiet. I just kind of kept my nose down and kept doing it, you know, every day, kept going back and finally like completed it or, you know, whatever. But I would say that a lot of success has to do with turning out the lights in the middle of what I'm talking about. A lot of success has to do with having the nerve. And that may be like channeling your inner narcissist. But being there, showing up, and having the nerve to put yourself there and say, I want to do this, or I have this idea, or I don't even know what to say. I'm just here in front of you. Maybe I'll inspire somebody or whatever. Like, I think that just being there is underrated. So don't talk yourself out of it. Don't talk yourself out of things because you don't think that you have everything. You know, we have these composites. Composite is like taking parts of lots of different individuals, things that we think are good qualities of lots of different individuals. And a composite is taking all those qualities that you admire, putting them into one person as if that one person exists that has all those qualities. Okay, there are a few people out there who have a lot of those qualities. Barack Obama, for one. He's a good person. He's got a lot of good qualities, okay? There are some very unique and exquisite individuals out there besides Barack Obama who have a lot of really great characteristics together. But for the most part, we compare ourselves, knowing all of our weaknesses and all the things that are our challenges, we compare ourselves to these composites of other people. I've seen it my whole life. I've seen it especially since I was in high school, and I still see it today. I think that we tend to compare ourselves to the composite other people and instead of the individual other people. And I think we undermine ourselves that way. So I try not to do that. I try my best not to do that. Try to have the nerve, try to have the courage. And maybe that's what I'm doing here. Just giving you a video. Has nothing to do with much. But I was inspired because I saw a YouTube video where Jerry Seinfeld did this little episode where I think it's like comedians driving around cars getting coffee. He did it with Barack Obama. And so I was inspired by it because, you know, they say the Jerry Seinfeld show was about a TV show about nothing. And of course, we know that's not true. It was about things. It was about relationships. It was about quirkiness. It was about strange things that happened, like really weren't realistic and funny life. So it was about something. But, you know, sometimes the best things are about something different than what you get out of it. At least that's me. Like I've seen movies, I've seen documentaries where, yeah, it said it was about this one thing, but what I got out of it was a whole other aspect of it. And those things inspired me. And they inspired me like probably in a unique way that probably didn't inspire anyone else. And I think that's the experience a lot of people have with books too, is that they take their things out of it that they apply to themselves, that not everybody that read the book got that experience out of it. And I think that's very cool. So what I'm gonna leave you with for tonight. And I hope that you all have a good evening. And if you're watching this, thank you for watching it. And I'm glad that I could share this with you, because probably wouldn't have had a chance to reach out to you any other way except through this technology called YouTube.